wọ́n ti kọjá lọ.
Wọ́n ní Okengwe yìí ló ní ilé ńlá kan tó sì ń kọ́ àwọn ilé ńlá sí ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó tí ó kọ́ tó $210 mílíọ̀nù gẹ́gẹ́ bí ti wí o sẹ́là. Ó ní ṣáájú àsìkò yìí ni àwọn ti ń ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn fún ìjọba Tinubu pẹ̀lú bó ṣe kéde yìí pé kí àwọn olókoòwò àti ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n wà nílẹ̀ òkèrè kí wọ́n má bọ̀ nílẹ̀ baba wọn kí wọ́n wá dókòwò síbẹ̀. Àmọ́ nígbà tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ ó ní sí ìyàlẹ́nu òun ni mínísítà tó wà fún ọ̀rọ̀ iṣẹ́ òde orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà èyún ni David Umahi ló gbé ọ̀nà gbabi tí ò sí ọ̀nà tẹ́lẹ̀, ọ̀nà kan tí wọ́n ń là tíjọba àpapọ̀ ń ṣe iṣẹ́ àkànṣe rẹ̀ láti ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó lọ sí ìlú Calabar tó jẹ́ ọ̀nà Etídò. Ó ní ibi tí wọ́n ń gbà nípasẹ̀ pé ìgbésẹ̀ ti ọdún 2006 kì í ṣe agbègbè tí òun kọ́ ilé olówó ńlá yìí sí, àmọ́ nígbà tí ó wàá ṣe iṣẹ́ burú láàbẹ̀ ó ní mínísítà náà ó gbé ọ̀nà gbabi tí kò sí ọ̀nà ńbẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀. Ó ní ọ̀nà fi jẹ ilé òun tí wọ́n sì ti wo ilé ọ̀hún báyìí. Ó wá ké sí Ààrẹ Bọ́lá Tinubu pé kó yá tètè gbé ìgbésẹ̀ akin lórí ọmọ bàdí iṣu tayan yìí.
Ẹ ṣeun fún fúlù sọ̀rọ̀ títẹ́ ẹ̀ máa ń fún wa ní gbogbo ìgbà tẹ́ ẹ tó fún wa lónìí títò ní òtún yẹ̀ ẹ́ lẹ̀.
A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín o.
Gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ tí mo wá ìròyìn ọ̀tán àwọ̀ ọlọ́ni o ẹ mú ọ̀tán bàbá òdìdé ń di àgbè níbi ẹja wa máa daṣọ bòtàgé ká máa gé pété fún tòní bọ́bádọ̀lẹ́ tó máa pàdé àwọn akẹgbẹ́ wa lórí tó arére.
Kò ṣe é má gbọ́ ìròyìn.
Ọ̀rẹ́ wa mọ̀mọ́ pé orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà Jerusalem mi àti òní àníbò mi ò sí gbìyànjú náà kó rántí rẹ̀ nínú àdúrà rẹ̀ yóò jù wá ṣe o. Ilé wa ò rojú ọ̀dẹ̀dẹ̀ wa ò ráyè o. Ọlọ́run ó bá tó orílẹ̀-èdè yìí òmìnira ní tòótọ́ Ọlọ́run ó yọ̀ǹda rẹ̀ fún wa. Joshua Adénípẹ̀kun ló kọ tèmi.
A jẹ́ pé ká má fi ẹnu tú ilé wa ká nítorí pé ẹnu báyìí ni ẹ̀gá fi tú ilé rẹ̀ ká. Ká mọ̀ pé orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà ká mọ̀ pé ní àpègbà ire àpèmọ́ ire Nàìjíríà wa yóò dáa. Zaccheaus Adéyẹyè ló kọ mi, ó dìgbà kan.
Is the Wild Wild West, and Western Spring Television is pulling out all the stops to make sure that you don't miss out on every of the fun and happenings around you. Yup, we've got you covered because your girl got all the juiciest tidbits and entertainment news from around the world. Cross over to the chocolatey side of entertainment. Join me, Chocolate Cassie, on E-Centric as we get into every bit of juiciest news, fashion, music, movie updates, and other trending conversations. Together on the show, we'll get personal with your favorite celebrities via phone call, Zoom, or even live here in the studio. E-Centric will be showing your TV on Western Spring Television, Channel 1 on Star Times.
Born Obafemi on March 6, 1909, Obafemi Awolowo was a prime architect of Nigeria's independence and most consummate I was fully addressed by associates and political colleagues, brought his unique attributes to bear on governance in the defunct Western region. He administered as leader of government business and the premier between 1955 and 1958. Obafemi Awolowo's premiership witnessed pioneering in multi-sectoral policy initiatives and execution. The Western region under his administration paraded several enviable records. First television station in Africa, first real estate in Nigeria, first high-rise building in Nigeria, first modern sports stadium in Nigeria, first agricultural settlement in Nigeria, first modern civil service secretariat in Nigeria, and first industrial estate in Nigeria. His face is on 100 Naira denomination as a mark of honor for his distinguished services to his country. Western Spring Television identifies Obafemi Awolowo as a major character in history.
Here are 5 amazing fun facts I bet you never knew about Christianity.
Number 1, there are over 2.4 billion Christians.
Fun fact number 2, Bible is one of the best-selling books of man with 100 sold ever.
Muslims believe in heaven and hell.
The Bible is the most translated book in the world, with more than 3,000 languages.
Amazing fun fact number 5. Most Christians throw science out of the window without realizing that most scientists are Christians. Hello, I am Pastor Steve Akinwumi.
And I am Dr. Adeoye Oyewole.
Join us as we highlight and discuss day-to-day issues pertaining to the day-to-day living of every Christian.
Issues in Christendom shows every Sunday on Western Spring Television 90, only on StarTimes.
The Queen of Zazzau is best known to historians as Queen Amina of Zaria, an old walled town and capital of the Hausa state of Zazzau. Amina was a great warrior and the first woman to rule the ancient kingdom of Zazzau. Her 34 years as queen witnessed an unprecedented expansion of Zazzau by conquests. Queen Amina of Zaria belongs to the class of Amazons by the might of her army and her strings of conquests. She opened Zaria to trans-border trade and was said to have initiated kola nut cultivation in the ancient kingdom. The Hausa Muslim figure was born in 1533 and died in 1610 at the age of 77 years. Folklores remember Aminatu, the queen of Zazzau, as a brave, smart and talented leader whose giant statue now adorns the National Arts Theatre in Lagos, Nigeria, while many educational institutions bear her name. Western Spring Television identifies Queen Amina as a watershed character in history.
Evelyn Ohiole,
Hi.
King Eve. How are you today?
I'm good, I'm fine, I'm alive.
I really feel like she not been answer to the question when one of you, how are you, and you said you're saying I'm alive. It's very annoying, seriously. How are you? I'm fine. I feel I'm fine will be the right answer instead of I'm alive. Not that I asked you if you're dead before.
Go and check all these 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, everybody, they are extraordinarily sexually active.
I feel is being unnecessarily hyper when it comes to the issue of sex, because we talk about other topics and it feels so reserved. It really doesn't have anything much to say when it comes to other stuff. But when it's the issue of sex, I believe it's being unnecessarily hyper. That's when I have to pick an issue with him. I mean, it's just being unnecessarily there when we're talking about sex. Just like a child, his mom just got him his favorite chocolate or ice cream, very happy, doing as though if he doesn't have sex for a day, he's going to die.
When it comes to finance, women also support their husbands financially. You need me emotionally. You need me spiritually.
Cassie is an amazing person, but the people I need mental. I can get this anywhere with money. If you go by the topic was who does marriage favors the most? I know how many jobless women they marry every Saturday. They are saying it favors you. Are they vague so?
Growing up, when I was in the world, we've heard of
Who are you now?
Well, MC Too Much said, he likes saying when I was in the world. And the last time I checked, well, it looks a bit innocent, facially, but deep down, is actually out of this world. We're all in the world now. As long as you're alive, you're in the world. So, MC Too Much, I beg you to talk about that. I don't want to hear that. Next time you talk about I kiss my words.
I think they have a problem with you saying ladies are champion, and that's the problem. Always trying to attach so much importance to that gender.
It's giving insecurity, it's giving low self-esteem, it's giving a blatant display egoism. But at the end of the day, a man who is secured in his words, a man who is confident of who he is, will not really be disturbed as to whether women are being referred to as champions or not. I mean, at the end of the day, Joseph's a really great guy, but whether he likes it or not, women are champions.
Since assuming the mantle of leadership in Osun, the state of the Living Spring, Governor Ademola Adeleke has left no one in doubt about his avowed commitment to the overall development of the state. The footprints of his transformative agenda span through education, transportation, health, and others. Willary on and Western Spring Television, Channel 190, Star Times DTT will extract Governor Adeleke's development agenda for your listening and viewing pleasure. The bus market to innovative agriculture from the state of civil service and to the chairs of artisans across the state of the Living Spring. You will discover how Governor Adeleke's administration is driving the economic growth of the state. Stay informed and engaged with Living Spring Update, where you delve the details of ongoing infrastructure projects, new initiatives in healthcare, education, and other impact stride made across the state. Tune in every Wednesday on Western Spring Television at 6 p.m. and every Saturday on Rave 91.7 FM at exactly 2:30 p.m. You can follow us on all our social media platforms at Western Spring Television and at Rave 917 FM as we tell the story of how Governor Adeleke is shaping Osun into the beacon of development and opportunity.
Living Spring Update is a production of the Office of the Spokesperson to the Governor, Governor's Office, Oshogbo.
In West Region, before Nigerian independence, he was a key founder of the National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons, a political party that held lofty the torch of liberty for the two West African countries. He carved a niche for himself as a wordsmith and a creative speaker. The nickname Kwenkelemen's, his bombastic English language style, often used to score proceedings at the parliament. The author of Africa in Ebullition, a handbook of freedom for Nigerian nationalists, was Nigeria's Federal Minister of Natural Resources and Social Services between 1955 and 1956. He died in an auto crash on the 25th March. Television identifies Adegoke Adelabu as a watershed character in history.
Sports is a culture on its own. It has its own language, its people with their own way of life. I guess you need a sports show that can walk the walk and talk.
On this show, we answer all your sporting questions. The whens, the whys, the wheres, and even the sports playing show that will give you that news about being looking for a sport journalist. Me, Joseph Atewe.
And your sports Amazon, Nengi Ernest.
On this station, Western Spring Television, Channel 190, only on Star Times.
Let's talk sports. Let's speak the most universal language of the world.
Rolly Here Mandela was an anti-apartheid activist who gave his all for the elimination of what has been described as the world's most vicious rule of the unjust and man's inhumanity against man. Was born in 1819 in South Africa, educated and trained as a successful legal practitioner. He took up the gauntlet of a human activist against segregation by the minority white suprematists in South Africa. At the democratic equality was that the Supreme sacrifice to his rule in his native land. By the different he was prepared to die. Nelson Mandela, in Ireland, described as the most notorious prison in the world. It was from this same prison that he came out as a free man to assume office as South Africa's first black president in 1994. Western Spring Television identifies Nelson Mandela as a watershed character in history.
Arrested, affected, filling from a spring. A fact A to Z. Check and confirm. Ever is pounding for instance, traveling down from the business gist. So the globally isn't happening. To the hot news, to the beta info. Stories short and long, wrapped in bundles of words, broken and dissected as it is, except misheard. This is the news as it is.
Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
Hello again. Thank you for joining this new episode of the Bookshelf, beaming live from the state-of-the-art studios of Western Spring Television. My name is Damilola Raphael, your teaching and learning advocate. While getting my papers ready for this broadcast, I wanted to show off my progress with this year's theme, or better still, mandate of learning a new language. Hold on a moment. How many days to the end of the year? Let's zoom closer. How many days to your next birthday? So help you God if tomorrow is your next birthday. Now, gift yourself a new language on my behalf, will you? Let's go back to my preparation. So, I really wanted to say fresh episode in Spanish. Now, on its own, fresh is fresco in Spanish. And depending on context, your modifier will have to adapt. What do I mean? Fresh is more an adjective than an adverb. I'll use the first half of today's telecast to shed some light on adjectives with lots of help from the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. An adjective is a word belonging to one of the major form classes in any of numerous languages and typically serving as a modifier of a noun to denote a quality of the thing named, to indicate its quantity or extent, or to specify a thing as distinct from something else. Adjectives describe or modify, that is, the limit or restrict the meaning of nouns and proverbs. They may name qualities of all kinds: huge, red, angry, tremendous, unique, rare, etc. An adjective usually comes right before a noun. A red dress. 15 people. When an adjective follows a linking verb such as be or seem, it is called a predicate adjective. That building is huge. The workers seem happy. Most adjectives can be used as predicate adjectives, although some are always used before a noun. Similarly, a few adjectives can only be used as predicate adjectives and are never used before a noun. Some adjectives describe qualities that can exist in different amounts or degrees. To do this, the adjective will either change in form, usually by adding er or est, or will be used with words like more, most, very, slightly, etc. For instance, the older girls, the longest day of the year, a very strong feeling, more expensive than that one, etc. Other adjectives describe qualities that do not vary: nuclear energy, a medical doctor, and they also do not change in form. The four demonstrative adjectives, this, that, these, and those, are identical to the demonstrative pronouns. They are used to distinguish the person or thing being described from others of the same category or class. This and these describe people or things that are nearby or in the present. That and those are used to describe people or things that are not here, not nearby, or in the past or future. These adjectives, like the definite and indefinite articles a, an, and the, always come before any other adjectives that modify a noun. An indefinite adjective. This describes a whole group or class of people or things, or a person or thing that is not identified or familiar. The most common indefinite adjectives are all, another, any, both, each, either, enough, every, few, half, least, less, little, many, more, most, much, neither, one, and two, three, etc. Other, several, some, such, whole. Interrogative adjectives, primarily which, what, and whose, are used to begin questions. They can also be used as interrogative pronouns. Nouns often function like adjectives. When they do, they are called attributive nouns. When two or more adjectives are used before a noun, they should be put in proper order. Any article, a, an, or the, demonstrative adjective, that, these, etc., indefinite adjective, another, both, etc., or possessive adjective, her, our, etc., always comes first. If there is a number, it comes first or second. True adjectives always come before attributive nouns, beg your pardon. The ordering of true adjectives will vary, but the following order is the most common. Opinion word, size, age, shape, color, nationality, material. To maximize time, I'll just list some types of adjectives as you have them across the web in no particular order. There is the interrogative adjective, we have possessive adjectives, demonstrative adjectives, proper adjectives, compound adjectives, quantitative adjectives, attributive adjectives, indefinite adjectives, numbers adjectives, participial adjectives, superlative adjectives, predicative adjectives, comparative adjectives, appositive adjectives, predicate adjectives, articles, descriptive adjectives, distributive adjectives, coordinate adjectives, denominal adjectives, emphasizing adjectives, gradable adjectives. Dear viewer, this is a good place to select. Just pause and ponder. I will be back after this breather and we'll be talking about relationships and book, or if you please, relationships and learning how our relationships affect how we read or learn. Please stay tuned. The Bookshelf will be back shortly. Glad to be back, knowing you are still on the other side as well. The concluding part of the bookshelf today will focus on how our relationships affect our reading and learning culture. We should understand that people cannot give what they do not have. For instance, you should not be disappointed as a media personality when, after reporting a heartbreak over the phone, your gourmet friend offers you food. This is what they have. And I'm so tempted right now to mention names, but I will not. I will not mention names. You know, this person is actually also a media person, and she had, you know, issues. There was this contract she was bidding, she didn't get. And then she reached out to her friend who, you know, does everything, food. Oh, you know, I didn't get this. Oh my goodness. And the friend went, oh, I'm so sorry. I know you put on a lot. Should I send you food? That's what she had. That's what he had. That's what they had. I mean, so you can't give what you do not have. When, you know, we are experiencing things, the influence the people around us have plays pivotal role in the decisions that we'll make and the outcomes, the results that we will get. I'm going to look, for instance, at the biblical Daniel, who knew by books, understand by books. The result you want, the answer that you seek is a book. Someone said sometime that, if you give a book and it mentioned the particular people of color and said they just will never, if you put the secrets to their problems in the book, they will never get it because they will never get to open the book to read it. Another kind of joke that went around sometime that